जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा, प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. श्री जगन्नाथ बलभद्र सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नृसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्री निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन शिला प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Stemming from Kantra Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, entitled as The Characteristics of King Puranjana, text number 26. Kantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Katvam kanja palasakshi, Katvam kanja palasakshi, Kasyasiha kutasati, Imam upapurim bhiru, Kim चिकीर्षसि संसमे। का त्वं कञ्जपलासाक्षी, कस्यासि कुतः सति, इमामुपपुरीं भीरु, किं चिकीर्षसि संसमे। का त्वं कञ्जपलासाक्षी, कस्यासिह कुतः सति, इमाम उपपुरीं भीरु, किं चिकीर्षसि संसमे। Word for word meaning: ka, who, tvam, you, kanja palasa, like the petals of the lotus, akshi, eyes, kasya, whose, asi, you are, iha, here, kuta, where from, sati, O chaste one, imam, this, upa, near, purim, city, bhiru, O timid one, kim, what, chikirsasi, you are trying to do, samsa, kindly explain me, kindly explain me unto me, may unto me. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: my dear lotus-eyed, kindly explain to me where you are coming from, who you are, and whose daughter you are. You appear very chaste. What is the purpose of your coming here? What are you trying to do? Please explain all these things to me. I'll repeat this. My dear lotus-eyed, kindly explain to me where you are coming from, who you are, and whose daughter you are. You appear very chaste. What is the purpose of your coming here? What are you trying to do? Please explain all these things to me. Purport. The first aphorism in the Vedanta Sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. In the human form of life, one should put many questions to himself and to his intelligence. In the various forms of life lower than human life, the intelligence does not go beyond the range of life's primary necessities, namely eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Dogs, cats, and tigers are always busy trying to find something to eat or a place to sleep, trying to defend and have sexual intercourse successfully. In the human form of life, however, one should be intelligent enough to ask what he is, why he has come into the world, what his duty is, who is the supreme controller, what is the difference between dull matter and the living entity, etc. There are so many questions, and the person who is actually intelligent should simply inquire about the supreme source of everything. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. A living entity is always connected with a certain amount of intelligence, but in the human form of life, the living entity must inquire about his spiritual identity. This is real human intelligence. It is said that one who is simply conscious of the body is no better than an animal, even though he be in the human form. In Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Sri Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hidi sannivishto matta smiti jnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. In the animal form, the living entity is completely forgetful of his relationship with God. This is called apohanam, or forgetfulness. In the human form of life, however, consciousness is more greatly developed, and consequently, the human being has a chance to understand his relationship with God. In human form, one should utilize his intelligence by asking all these questions, just as Puranjana, the living entity, is asking the unknown girl where she has come from, what her business is, why she is present, etc. These are inquiries about Atma Tattva, self-realization. The conclusion is that unless a living entity is inquisitive about self-realization, is nothing but an animal. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yadkripatamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. So just to get the context, this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, we know that how Parichina Bharisat sons, Prachetas, they were all guided by Narada Muni, and they went to perform tapasya. And then Narad Muni has come and has met Parichina Bharisat. So he is very busy in performing so many sacrifices. So much sacrifices he was performing, and Narad Muni felt a great compassion upon him. So much so that he went and spoke to him. And not only spoke to him, he was showing him in the sky all the animals which he had sacrificed, and they are all waiting for him. By his Divya Sakti, transcendental power, he was able to give a vision where King Parchina Bharisat was able to see the results of all his sacrifices. That of course he may be enjoying into heavenly planets, but also these animals whom he has sacrificed, many of them, they are just waiting for him to take revenge. As per his karma, he has to also suffer for that. So after showing all these things, he narrated a allegorical story to him about King Puranjana. So this we discussed last time. This King Puranjana is actually the soul which characterizes King Prachina Bharisat. And then this beautiful girl is his intelligence. So this is this story, goes very interestingly for any person, mundane person to hear. Like some uh, filmy script. That's how the King Prachina Barisat is meeting such a beautiful girl, and then he is proposing her, and all these things. This is goes on like that. Uh, but there is a great lesson to take. That's how our intelligence actually is working in this world. As soon as uh, actually in spiritual world, intelligence uh, is always thinking, is always planning to serve the Lord. That's how it is. The spiritual soul, there is a consciousness is pure. Uh, Consciousness, what is consciousness? That's consciousness is a symptom of soul. How we make difference between living and dead? Just by consciousness. We see there is a dull matter, there is no consciousness, we know it is not living. And we say there is a tree, plant, insects, birds, beasts, reptiles, so many, and there are some sort of consciousness is there, so we know that they are living. So that's the difference between living and dead. The consciousness is the symptom of soul. So somehow consciousness is getting polluted. What is the pollution? Pollution is when our desire is changed from serving the Lord to enjoying, from seva vritti to bhoga vritti. Actually, constitutionally, we are part of the Lord, part and parcel of the Lord. Jiver swarup hai Krishna nitya das. So, naturally, we should be serving the Supreme Lord. It's very, very natural. Because being part and parcel of the Lord, that is our constitutional position. And this service is so loving, and living entity is put into so much blissful state. But he will like to always do that only. He won't like to have sense gratification, which has very low grade, very low grade taste. Sense gratification is, there is no comparison. There is no comparison from the happiness or the bliss living entity experiences from the service of the Lord. Such an intense ecstatic experience that one feels. It is said that just by engaging oneself in service of the Lord, one experiences all sorts of ecstatic symptoms. Hair standing on the end, tears flowing from the eyes, there's a shivering in the body, like that. There's so many sattvic vikara one can experience this. But somehow or other, the living entity forgets all that, and some of living entities, they get their consciousness is polluted. Instead of serving the Lord, they want to actually enjoy the senses. So because this is the pollution in consciousness. Unfortunately, all of us, actually, our consciousness is being polluted like that. As soon as our consciousness is polluted, we are placed in this material world to experience this bhautik sukha, material happiness, which is experienced through our senses. We have 5 senses: touch, nose, ears, then genitals, skins, like that. So the 5 senses are there. And then we actually, through the sense objects, for the eyes form, for the ears sound, for the tongue food, taste, like that. Those, from all different senses, we try to experience some pleasure through sense objects. So that's how the living entity in this material world, they are stuck. The intelligence is also, because the consciousness is polluted, the intelligence is also working like that. Instead of planning for serving the Lord, it's always planning how we can exploit the material nature. How we can exploit material nature and have this material sukha. So this is happening here. This Puranjana, he is the intelligence is get so much. The soul is so much conditioned that he is, instead of using his intelligence for service of the Lord, he is always planning how to use for sense gratification. that will happen quite naturally in this material experience, because from so many janmas, from 80, we are we are here in this material world from time immemorial. 84 lakh species, and there are 14 planetary systems we have done everywhere. We have gone everywhere in all these different species, and we have natural instinct for this sense gratification. We wandering into all different species, we come into this human form of life. This human form of life is very, very special. Because from this human form of life we can actually break through. From this material experience we can cut off that, and we can start experiencing our spiritual happiness, spiritual experience, and then we can evolve, we can purify our consciousness, and we can go back to Godhead. So this is a junction at this, in this form of life, human form of life. Therefore, in Vedanta Sutra, it starts with this Athato Brahma Jigyasa. It's mentioned in purport by Srila Prabhupada that it's mentioned in Vedanta, first aphorism of Vedanta Sutra, first sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Athato means now you have got this human form of life. Therefore, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, you should inquire about your spiritual identity, about who are you. So there are four things which is common in animal and human being, in common in all everyone. What are these four common things? The animals also will also eat. Animal will also sleep, will also sleep. Animal will also have enjoyment and have a byproduction, will also have a enjoyment, will have a offsprings. And then animal also will defend, protect himself, and will also defend and protect ourselves. There may be only in human being we may be doing in very little more sophisticated way, and animals they will be doing openly, just as and then and there, however they like. So there is only difference, but the grade of happiness also what animals experiences and human beings experiences. In fact, we can say animals they are experiencing better. It's like they are getting better sleep. They are eating, mating, defending, sleeping. In all these things, they may have even better experiences than modern day man. These four things are common in human being also, in animal also. But how human being is special? God has given some special gift to different living entities. Like for the dog, there is a smelling power. For the eagle, he can watch from very long distance. So for every living entity, there is some different gift is given. What gift God has given to human being? This gift is given that human being can have spiritual inquisitiveness. What is spiritual inquisitiveness? The human being can inquire like this: who am I? We cannot expect this inquiry from a dog, cat. We cannot think about that. They may be thinking like this. Only human being in this form of life, we have this opportunity where we can deeply inquire about this. Who am I? I don't want to suffer, but why am I suffering? How can I become free from this suffering? These questions can only human being ask. Other living entities, they cannot ask this question. So this is the difference. This is a special gift is provided by the Lord to human being. Therefore, Vedanta Sutra is telling Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Because now you got this human form of life, you must inquire about your identity. Who are you? So here this Puranjana, the soul, is inquiring so many questions to his intelligence. The beautiful girl which is meeting in a nice garden, He's asking, who are you? Whose daughter are you? What is your purpose of coming here? Like that. And he is appreciating, same time he's appreciating his beauty. So similarly, we should inquire this. When we inquire this only, actually the purpose of life will be fulfilled. We are all hankering for something. Everybody is looking for something. In this, we see that we are looking for something, but we have never been access to that. There is a deep hankering and dissatisfaction that can be fulfilled only when we exercise this special prerogative of human being about inquiring about our spiritual identity, about who are we. So as soon as we come to understand this reality that we are different from the body. Body is just like a dress. Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita, Dehi no asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptir dhiras tatana muhyati. So this is the first lesson Krishna is teaching to Arjuna, that you are not the body. See, you are changing your body in this life itself, from your childhood to youth, and similarly at old age. The body is changed. Any person can see his body, or another person can see his one's body and can say, no, the body is changed. According to medical science also, the body is changed, because this all the cells will be replaced in within 7 years. All the units are replaced. The whole system is replaced. Every 7 years at least the body is changed fully. So it is said that every moment to moment body is changing. But we are not changing. We are the same person in childhood, we are the same person now, we will be the same person in old age. So the body is changing, we are not changing. It's like we are changing our dresses, but we remain the same person. So it shows that we are not the body, we are not the dress. Similarly, we are not the body. So if we are not the body, who are we? The question is, who are we? So this Krishna is explaining, na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam hatva nayam, that the soul doesn't die. The soul is not born. The soul is always eternal. So our identity is, we are not this matter. We are beyond this matter. Our identity is, we are spiritual. We are spirit soul. This is our identity. Most of people in this Bharatvarsha, they very easily relate with this. Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Sri Prahlad Nrsimha Dev Bhagwan ki jai, Sri Gaur Sundar ki jai. So many of the Indians, we see that they can very easily relate with this understanding that they are not the body, they are the soul, because of their pious credit in the previous life. Therefore, this Bharatvarsha is called Punya Bhumi, Punya Kshetram. In many parts of the world, it is not so easy to relate with this understanding. People find it very difficult to understand this. But in India, we see that this is people very easily able to understand this simple understanding that they are not the body, they are the soul. Therefore, it is said, Bharat Bhumi mein janma hoilo yaar, janma sarthak kari karo paropkar. Because now you are born in this land of Bharatvarsha, so you should purify yourself. You should uplift your consciousness, become Krishna conscious, and also you should give it to others. Janma sarthak kari karo paropkar. So this is the responsibility of every Indians. First thing is that we should practice Krishna consciousness seriously, and also we should distribute this as much as possible. So we see now most of devotees, they are trying to distribute books on the street in this month of marathon, December month. So many devotees all over the world, they are trying to give this knowledge to others, because just by doing this, one becomes very dear to Krishna. uh, actually we are distributing books is we are serving the Lord or assisting him in his mission. The mission of the Lord is Krishna is telling that in Bhagavad Gita that adharmasya tadatmanam sijamyam yuge yuge. He's telling that yada yada hi adharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sijamyam. So this is the mission of the Lord. Why is coming here? Just to eradicate the religious principle, adharma. So that is the purpose of the Lord. So by assisting the Lord in his mission, uh, as we can do that by distributing Srila Prabhupada books. It's very simple, very easy way to contribute. Just that we can take the books and go and give it to people, and they can read this book and they can become devotees. So just by doing this, one becomes very, very dear to the Lord. The same thing Krishna even acknowledging in Bhagavad Gita, that person is very dear to me who gives this knowledge to others, and nobody is more dear than him. So this is simple things, if we can practice, we can very easily become dear to Krishna. And as soon as we're trying to do this, we can also start experiencing the spiritual happiness. As we start experiencing the spiritual happiness, then we will see that we will try to keep away from the material so-called substantial happiness which comes from sense gratification. So in this story of King Puranjana, uh, it is this is what is categorically told, that how by default, instinctively, naturally, living entities, as soon as there is some opportunity for sense gratification, they just cling on that. uh, uh, you know, even though we try to understand this and try to resist this, saying no to it, but still it is so inbuilt, or from so many janmas it has been practiced, that naturally we do it. Krishna, Arjuna is asking, what is that which forces the living entities for sense gratification? This question Krishna, Arjuna is asking. Then, even though he doesn't want, but why he is doing this? So, Krishna replies that because of his deep desire. Kam esa, krodh esa. Because of deep desire for sense gratification. The living entity is naturally, as though being forced, he is going for sense gratification. And it's very difficult to stop this force. Very, very difficult to stop this force. Only by mercy of Lord one can stop this. And in order to attract the mercy of the Lord, we have to just show our sincerity. We show our sincerity, and then Lord mercy, immediately we are able to access that mercy, and we can come out of this. And we are all very fortunate. We have, in the time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he is being distributing this love of Godhead freely. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurtise Namaha. That Lord himself is the most magnanimous form of the Lord, and is distributing Krishna Prema, love of Godhead. Just, we just get a sense of it. Just get a small, not even drop of it, small dot of it. Just then actually we'll forget all the so-called material happiness, because it becomes so insignificant. So just that we have to follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. That we have to do. We have to open our ears and try to hear. We have to open our mouth and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we chant, our consciousness is being purified from that desire or sense for hankering for sense gratification